What is going on with the game token, the AI agent token on the base chain? Why is it doubling within 24 hours? Who's buying here, who's selling here? Is this manipulation or is this potentially organic growth by retail? Let's have a look at the on-chain analytics. Let's try to figure out whether or not it still makes sense to buy the game token. So this is where we are at. Up 129% in the last 24 hours, currently at 4 cents. And we've got 64% buyers versus only 36% of sellers. Now the game token is issued by the Virtuals protocol. And there are quite a few tokens issued by that protocol, the largest one being Luna. But just have a look at the performance in the last 24 hours for most of those tokens. They are very, very positive. And so it appears as if the base chain is now developing into the chain of AI agents. So we've got Solana that's specialized on Memecoin trading. Now we've got Base for AI tokens. And so just have a look at the top trending tokens ordered by liquidity on Base. At number 1 is the virtual token itself, which by the way is also up by 42%. But we've also got Luna by Virtuals, Game by Virtuals, AI XBT by Virtuals. The trading volume that's related to the Virtuals protocol tends to go up quite steadily. So that's what we see in this chart here. We were at roughly 2 million at the beginning of the month. Now we are at roughly 5 to 6 million per day. And here's what's so interesting about all of this. We see all of that positive momentum, but at the same time, we don't see how the liquidity is as fragmented as on Pump.fun on the Solana chain. Check this out. This is the number of virtuals that get launched per day. Those are not crazy numbers. It tends to be in the single digits most of the time. While the decentralized exchange trading volume tends to grow quite nicely. It comes in waves, but it is growing pretty nicely. And so it's always about being early in those kinds of plays, right? If you had been early in the Pump.fun ecosystem, you made multiple 100x returns on many tokens. Now something similar could happen for the base chain because the base chain itself is also expanding very rapidly. Have a look at this comparison here. This is the increase of the total value locked in the last month for various chains. And we can forget about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is very much centralized. There's a lot of manipulation happening here by the centralized exchanges. But have a look at the others. We've got Solana with almost 50% in the last month. And we've also got the base chain with 33%. It's one of the top larger chains if you don't want to go more risk on and get into the areas of Soy, for example, which only has 1.4 billion compared to Base with 3.5. And so we've all seen what happened with Pump.fun on Solana. Here's the number of deployed transactions over time. It's nice growth, of course, with some waves as well, right? This is not just constant linear growth. And we have seen that Pump.fun was so successful that more and more of the trading volume on the entire Solana chain got generated by Pump.fun. Without Pump.fun, Solana wouldn't have been that successful. Pump.fun really excelled Solana to the next level. And so there are several ways to play this game. We can simply bet on the individual AI agents. They obviously have more upside potential because they are smaller in market cap, but it does require more active trading. The more straightforward approach is to simply just buy the virtual token itself. Pump.fun doesn't have its own token, but the virtual protocol does have its own token. And so that's now up by 43% in the last 24 hours alone. We are now at $1.29. And I try to be early on this channel, right? I already published 2 videos on the Virtuals protocol. The first one was published 1 month ago, and that was when the price was still at 41 cents. Again, we are now at $1.29, more than a 3x. And so let's dive into the details and the on-chain details, not of the Virtuals protocol, but actually of the game token, right? This is what this video is all about. Before we do this, of course, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos on various meme coins and meme coin platforms regularly on this channel. Now, this is an interesting search term, right? If you go to dexscreener.com, you can simply just search for buy virtuals and you get all the tokens that are coming from the Virtuals platform. And again, just have a look at the performance in the last 24 hours. Pretty much everything went up except one token, the 313 token. I don't know why this one did not perform that well. It's got a very small market cap as well, very little liquidity, and it's launched 19 hours ago. Maybe there's a potential chance here for some kind of a gamble, but I haven't looked at this in more detail. Instead, we want to look in more detail at the 8,000 holders that hold the game token. And so what we've got over here is the number of retail investors versus the the number of whale investors over time. And the way you make this distinction is by minimum holding thresholds. So how many tokens does a wallet at minimum hold? So for the left side, that's 20,000 tokens. So at the current price, that's roughly $900 worth of the token. In the middle, we go at 10x from that. So that's our $9,000. And on the right, another 10x, so $90,000. So we see accumulation across the board. Of course, it's now mainly fueled by small retail, but the larger whales are also buying. And this is of course generating a very nice rally. We're also seeing how the number of users over time is increasing. And so with all of that attention, with all of that accumulation, there's no surprise that the virtual token is going up and that game goes up with it. Of course, the individual tokens are somewhat of a levered bet on top of virtual. I very much believe that this is going to be a similar rotation game to Pump.fun. So it's important to watch the market caps. It's important to figure out how much more upside is there. So for example, for Game, it's got a market cap of 40 million and the largest of the tokens has now 90 million. So there might not be as much upside now compared to, for example, the Convo token or compared to the Bark Ruffalo token. The lower we go on the market cap, of course, the more upside there is, and there is an upper threshold. It's always interesting to just look at the 100, 200, maybe 300 million mark. Everything above 300 million in terms of market cap usually needs some kind of additional fuel by the centralized exchanges that offer some market making on top. You barely see a token that reaches multiple billion in market cap without a lot of locked tokens that is not supported by a centralized exchange. Now here's a very interesting recent development. You very likely do not have access to this kind of chart. This here shows how much advertisers on my YouTube channel pay for 1,000 views of their ads. And it suddenly, out of nothing, spiked to roughly double of what it used to be. In other words, crypto projects, centralized exchanges, etc., they are now competing for advertising space in the crypto scene. And it's not just money that's flowing into advertising for crypto. There's also simply fiat money that's flowing into the space as a whole. The stablecoin market cap tends to rise and it's recently even accelerating. So since October of last year, we see money flowing into crypto again. That of course causes a lot of crypto asset prices to go up. And especially in the recent days, since beginning of the month, we also see the altcoins going up in aggregate. So what we have over here is the others dominance. This is how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that's not in the top 10. That went up by roughly 20% in the last month. And so pretty much everything is now going up. The art in crypto trading though is to buy early, right? It's to buy when the prices are still low. So for example, over here, the Chill Guy token, it's now at 50 cents. But I made a video on Chill Guy when it was still at 20 cents. And I hope a lot of you made money with that video because it was a quite popular one. And so this is the real art, right? We have to get into tokens when momentum is bullish and when there's still enough upside potential. And so this is what this channel is all about, right? It's about discussing tokens that a lot of people don't yet have on their radar. So feel free to subscribe. Now, how can I find tokens like Chill Guy early? Or how can I find things like the GOAT token or the ACT token early? Those are one of the largest Pump.fun ecosystem tokens. This is a wallet tracking alert. How Kyle Chessy bought the GOAT token for 14 cents. That was over here. Since then, the price went up by more than 500%. Temporarily, it was up by more than 800%. Who's Kyle Chessy? It's this influencer over here. He's got 137,000 subscribers and he tends to be relatively early on trending tokens. And so here is how that works. We use on-chain analytics again to figure out who is owning what wallet. It's not a very easy task, but we've got an entire community that just focuses on that single task. Find wallets that are very useful, of insiders, of top traders, of influencers. Let's find those wallets and then track them. So over here, we've got the wallets that we track by Kyle Chessy. We've got 12 in total. Well, let's talk about the ACT token. Here's our signal for ACT. CryptoBanter bought the ACT token at 3.7 cents. Now it's at 58 cents. So an increase of 1,500% since that signal. And of course, temporarily, the gain was even higher, more than 2,000%. Now, where do crazy gains like this come from? They come from attention. They come from a lot of eyeballs getting into one single token. And so here are those eyeballs. This is the Crypto Banter channel. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about the token, of course the token has to go up. And so we've got 33 of Crypto Banter's wallets. And so really, I think this is the better approach compared to just drawing random lines on price charts. I think it's better to follow the smart money. It's better to follow the insiders. It's better to simply copy trade the people that tend to make money in crypto. And I like this approach that much that I made a dedicated tutorial course just on this. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we track those wallets? And how can we subsequently also interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's 8 videos in total. It's all part of Premium, so that's down below, thebitcoinstrade.com. Premium is not just about wallet tracking, it's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today in this video. It's also about portfolio diversification, risk management, indicator backtesting. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Once we get our wallet signals, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to compare the on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like Premium, in case you don't learn anything, simply just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. And so does it make sense to buy the game token right now? Potentially, as the overall market is of course growing, but I think there are 2 better bets in terms of risk to reward. If you don't like that much risk, then simply just go with the virtual token, right? It's betting on the entire ecosystem. If you do want some more upside though, then it's better to get the smaller ecosystem tokens, right? To get the AI agents that are not yet in the tens of millions, but maybe just in a few millions. But of course, it's always hard to anticipate which one of the tokens will make the race, so a bit of diversification might make sense here, right? Not just buy 1 token, but potentially buy 3, 4, 5 of those tokens, and be okay if the majority of those tokens go to 0 and maybe one of them then makes the 20 or 30x. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video, or see you in Premium. Cheers!